Alrighty. Minutes ago, you lot managed to successfully plane shift with the entire party intact and two new tack-ons as well. Back to your home plane. It was a bit unceremonious as you landed in a cold lake at the south end of the gullet, but recovering your senses, Alia managed to pull together a bit of her last dredges of power for the day and psychoport the lot of you back to familiar territory. You land in a heap in the square just outside the market, just outside the university at Siolanen. Big market square. There's an important tree in the middle of the courtyard in front of it. And
Stupid tree.
You land in a heap and start standing up. It's fairly dark out as the sun has already set below the mountains, but the sky is still bright. About 20-30 minutes left before it sinks below the true horizon. And as you guys gather yourselves, you notice that not only is the square empty like you expect it to be at this time of night, but it's also it is also not it is also not late spring. There's a thick layer of frost everywhere.
Called it.
You say dust or ghosts?
Frost.
Ah.
I called this shit.
What
I
did
guess.
you call? You just called the tree stupid, that's it.
No. Me and Tagash had a conversation beforehand. You'll see.
I don't want to hear it, but
I think time does not work the same between planes. So I think we've jumped
Obviously.
forward some distance or back some distance. I'm thinking forward.
Things will go much quicker if you let it happen in character.
Alright. Varg just looks around,
there is a layer
wrinkles
of
his nose, and
there's a layer of frost over everything, and you also see that in the relatively bright sky, you can also see that there's actually not very many, rising plumes from chimneys or such. There's some, but you'd expect like 10 or 12 times as much from a populated city as large as Siolanen. There is nobody in sight.
we're in front of the college, so naturally I suppose we should go that direction. Inform them, hey, we're back. Put on the soup.
Yeah, it's pretty much all we can do at this point. Let's be cautious, though, because this seems pretty screwed up.
Ambushy. I get the smell of ambush.
ambush or more like half-dead town?
Either or.
The great main door is barred.
No, it's not. Side. No, it's not. Varg immediately barred door. No, there's not. There's a hole. There was a door standing there.
No, there is a door, and it is barred shut on this side.
And Varg proceeds to barrel through it like a juggernaut.
You slam into the foot thick of oak. You going to make a strength check?
Mm-hmm. Do I need to do it?
Nothing seems to happen to the door, but you're sure someone heard that.
Yeah, pretty much.
If there's anyone within hearing range, someone heard that, because that was a loud thud on the door.
Varg grunts. You want me to do it again, or are we just gonna wait for the answer?
Wait for the answer.
Alright. Just gonna stand there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everybody heard that, and if we have enemies, they're all coming right now, so let's do this.
Good. Save time. I got at least 2 more fights left in me for the day. Or one big one.
2. Only at least 2?
Well, I number on how often I can turn. Can't do it always.
Ashlyn just thinks it's amusing.
Well, that's been a long pause. I think I'm going to try and bash the door down again. It's a 26 manage.
The beam holding the door shut is developing cracks.
I should have brought a battering ram. I don't want to have to shift to crush this thing like an acorn. I'll just keep ramming. I got all day. 26 again.
You begin to hear shouting on the other side of the door.
I shout back, "You idiots gonna open up or what? I just traveled through the plane of acid. I'd like to get back inside where there's not acid."
Yeah, that's very nice of you to say.
You don't need to tell him there wasn't that much acid there.
Who goes there who does not know? Use the other entrance.
Why? What other entrance? God damn it, we leave for like 3 days and everyone comes crazy. Is this an elf thing? Is it a holiday I'm not aware of?
Go around to the bastion. The market there is set.
I'm back here. Hard follows Aislinn and presumably Alia. Yep, I'll run off to go find that.
You circle the building a bit and eventually come to an entrance where there's a handful of elven soldiers standing guard with a bunch of bright glowing crystals providing light around a more fortifiable entrance. They look you up and down, but cross their spears in front of you before letting you simply pass inside.
Hark snorts. Are you serious? I'm pretty recognizable, I think, to this city.
Have you any credentials to show, stranger?
I'm a 16-foot tall lizard man. I don't need credentials. I think you'd recognize me.
His name is Bard.
Yes, it is. I'd thank you to remember it, because I nearly chopped down your tree, and I nearly busted down your door, and I think I'm the only one within 1,000 miles.
I'm the one who's on fire.
We're benevolent, don't worry.
We were hired to do a thing. You probably hate me, and maybe her.
The guards are not swayed by your list of feats and accomplishments.
I wrestled a show. Come on.
The one on the left does tremble slightly, but one of the others has rushed inside.
You gotta be kidding me. Do elves just not remember anything?
Well, elves who haven't met you, yes.
I'm famous. You think there'd be a note? It's like, hey, this guy. I heard there was a lizard man in town. 16 feet tall. Might want to avoid that.
You just pretend nobody knows you and just act nice. Can you do that?
No.
Well, then try. Pretend you're somebody else.
No.
Yes.
Are you somebody else?
I can be anybody I want.
Fair enough.
Pretend you're Savorik. He was quiet.
Ashlyn, high
You don't want him to do that. Savorik also pissed on things to see what happened.
Well, that's not Varg.
Yeah, but Varg didn't do that because he has a high wisdom score, so there you go.
Anyways, while you guys bicker among each other, eventually the guard comes back with a pair of obvious wizards in tow, and they come out and look you over before conversing between each other and then approaching to talking range, and they tell the guards to stand down. We believe we recognize you, but we're going to need some proof. There have been many phantasms about lately.
And what bloody... What proof could we possibly... Wait. Aaliyah, you got
Well,
that slip of paper still, the one that
a
has our names
phantasm
on it?
can only pull the image from our minds. It cannot pull your true name. So, who are you?
Varg, blood drinker. Thud, thud.
Aaliyah Ripkin, daughter of Throgblex, the defeatable champion of Gemnivan.
And this is Niblin of Jewhall Creek.
Very well. What business have you with the college?
What business do we... Urgh.
Just
We-
roll with it, Varg.
I'm gonna punch someone. We were
And I'll
sent
kill you.
to
Just
do
roll
a...
with it. Be nice.
Yes, Hegrek. Fine, I'll be nice. We were sent by this college, by your leader, who I can't remember his name, that's Aaliyah's business, or person in the college, to go to the plane of acid, to do this big fucking quest, and we're back, and we did it, so can we please get in and talk to the bastard?
Oh, and we totally got this item. Show him the item we totally got.
Sorry, show him the what?
Thing we're supposed to show to the scholars here.
Ah, the glass scroll. Gotcha.
Yeah, that thing, yeah.
Sorry, me and details aren't good.
Yep, that's no worry. You were sent by the college to where again?
Plane of acid.
The demi-plane of acid to look into Jubilex's imprisonment. Things that are important to the fate of the world.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now,
How can
see,
you
with
not
that
remember
mentioned,
this?
their eyes begin to light up, and after muttering between each other quickly, they begin
Does anyone forget this
retreating
crap?
back into the college and wave you in. Follow, follow. We'll send someone to go wake Ephraim.
How does anyone forget the whole fate of the world, heroes of destiny thing? It's bloody. It's like you think it'd be a picture.
Obviously,
Is that something you're saying out
happened
loud?
while we were gone.
Yes, I'm saying out loud, how does anyone is so stupid as to forget the people who are saving the world and what they look like? It's not like we're, like, plain looking.
You know,
It was
Mark, right now I wish I could cast silence.
One of the wizards, gesturing you to follow him to a room deeper into the college, and begins to explain. We thought you had failed. I mean, it's been nearly 4 years.
Ah, called it. Yeah, see, told you. Wait, how long?
4 years.
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 It's been 4 days.
No, it's been 4 years.
Give or take. No, it's been 4
It
days.
will
I
have
know how long a
been
day
4
is.
years this spring solstice.
You gotta be kidding me, 4 goddamn years. I'm gonna have serious words with your wizards then, because you're the idiot who sent us there. And did fail to mention the time limit.
How were we
By
to
the
know?
way,
We've never sent someone there and back.
well, now for information's sake, when you send people there, apparently a day is a year, give or take.
Well, we don't know exactly where it would have happened. I mean, he covers his head and gestures you all finally sit at a table that he's led you to.
Is there a chair big enough for Varg?
2 chairs put together fits any fat man.
And Varg will shrink down if he has to, but he prefer to stay big. He's not entirely sure this is
You may
serious
sit on
yet.
the floor in front
He
of the
wants to-
fireplace if you like.
Oh, that's way better. I want to be warm. Fuck this noise. I'm sitting there.
Yes. The wizard rubs his head, trying to remember important details, and other scholars begin to show up at the doorway, all craning to look in. And They get shooed away periodically, but they just keep on coming back. Eventually, some people arrive with notes, and they begin comparing them. And finally, Ephraim arrives. He looks like he has just been woken up in the middle of the night, despite it only just now being sunset. He waves and goes to confer with the others who are gathering their notes.
Are you sure it's been 4 years? Kind of sounds familiar.
Finally,
Hey, solid heads. We're kind of waiting here.
we know that it has been quite a while, but just bide a moment. There are important details we need from you before we can decide on our course of action.
Oi, Aaliyah, give him the funny scroll.
Here's the funny scroll.
That'll explain it.
Funny? Ephraim takes the glass scroll and turns it over in his hands.
That's from a higher archon. You know, one of them angel type things.
No
Not
doubt.
like my fish angel here.
No doubt one of many important things you're going to have to explain to us. So
Most likely.
He puts it on the table, and for a couple more minutes he's talking with his peers before finally he calms them down and bids them all sit with quills at the ready over fresh paper, and bids you to recount to him the events of the since you left. And I'm not going to have you go through all of it in deep, but he gets the stories. He gets the stories from you three, and he gets very abbreviated stories from the other two, who would show some reluctance to explain exactly how they got there.
I was getting them a reward because I'd almost killed them already on accident, so blame me for being a nice guy.
You look across table and see one of the wizards has written down, Varg accepts the blame for being a nice guy.
I like him.
And once you've finished getting the wizards up to date, several of them grab the collected scrolls and scurry off to.
They better not be grabbing the one we just gave them.
No. They grab all the scribed out notes and begin taking them away to collate and duplicate. These are important records, and they're necessary.
That's nice.
So they're taking them to their wizard friend Xerox.
Yeah.
Hey, what's his name? Damn, I keep forgetting his name, even though he just said it.
Ephraim?
Yes, Ephraim. Ephraim, you got some splaining to do.
Yes, I do. I'm going to start with what happened after you left. Starting before you left wouldn't be helpful. Someone get me that coffee! All right. We had been expecting Jubilex and his army to emerge from the mountainside within about a week of when you set off for the mountains to transit away. That was mid-March, 532 EI. It was about a week later when he emerged and did not. He and his army, his hordes that poured out of the mountain for the next several days, they did not besiege the city there. They immediately set off through the forests and headed for the high mountain passes. We thought to see them emerge in the gullet, but they did not encounter our expeditionary forces there. Instead, they seemed to have begin setting up some sort of stronghold in the high mountains.
Why didn't you cut them out in the passes? Numbers don't mean a damn thing when you're stuck in that little tight quarters.
Numbers don't mean a thing when your foe is the very ground under your feet. They began oozing out of the mountain passes, down the rivers. It
Right,
is
ooze.
it is literally a solid mass of ooze all the way up
Yeah.
the mountain passes. It took them several months before it was to such a state, and they simply began sending out besieging forces of gibbering monsters of all shapes for over a year afterwards. It was actually just this past summer when the attacks ceased quite suddenly. The ooze has still not retreated, but we weren't sure what to make of it. But from what you explain, that kind of makes sense if our assumptions about the rate of time on the dim plane of acid are correct. But uh, he he goes off into thinking to himself for a minute, just muttering under his breath. Before he finally notices that you guys are still in the room. And, oh, right. So the the attacks suddenly ceased, and since then we've tried to send some forces in to probe their territory, see if they've see what's going on inside. But other than airborne surveys, we've been able to make nothing of the area for quite some time.
And what about the ooze? Does fire do anything? Water? Is it just solid mass? Why aren't you burning it out?
Well, the Oozan ground seems to retreat from any very potent source of magic, but it doesn't stay away for long. So the few ground expeditions that have been able to make it in are, well, mostly pilgrimages who are carrying totems of their power. We haven't seen many of them leave, though.
Mm.
There's understandably certain doomsday cults and worshippers of Jubilex that have made pilgrimages into the ooze, and
And
well,
why haven't you killed every single one that comes out, if they come out at all?
they haven't.
Oh, there you go.
Initially, many people were of the mind good riddance, but now we're kind of worried about what may be going on.
Isn't there this old druid? Why don't we just collapse the mountainside on it?
You mean Ezram?
I need just collapse the mountainside on it. I could probably do it if I put my mind to it. Crush him underneath a rock. Ooze will probably live, but it'll be less of a problem. If anything's trying to keep it alive, it better be an ooze too, or it's flat.
We have scattered reports of some of the druidic hero simply working to keep the ooze from completely overwhelming the forests on the west side of the divide. We have not heard him. We have not heard of him taking much of an active hand on the eastern, but we've had things sort of under control. The Elven army has managed to keep most of it away, and while the Circle C alliance has somewhat crumbled, we still have some support in it. But again,
Well, where is everyone
we thought
then?
you had long failed, so we hadn't been making plans of what we would do if or when you returned.
Never assume we fail. We always get out. Even if we lose, we get out.
Clearly. You're probably exhausted. I'm exhausted too. You were probably exhausted. I shall have quarters made arranged for you, and um, we will. I will consult this scroll you've brought back and see what can be made of it. Picks it up and starts turning it over in his hands. Have you any idea how to? It looks brittle. Are you sure it was rolled up like this?
Yes. Absolutely sure we didn't open
Exactly the
it.
way I got it.
Grabs it as though it's any other scroll and begins to unroll it.
And then it crumbles to dust.
And these giant beams of blue-white energy come shooting out of it, and they shoot right into the mouths of everyone sitting around the table.
What's it taste like?
This is the second worst thing I've ever had in my mouth.
This is not even on like my top 10 list of worst things.
Yes, Aislinn, even right through your mask.
I've bit stuff that's uglier than this.
And after the energy fades, everyone looking around uncomfortably, trying to figure out what just happened, Varg begins to speak. Chris, could I have you read this out, please?
Certainly. When we created this world and decided it was time for life to flourish, we gave it a will of its own and let it guide the reformation of the lower planes, that they would be able to support the new life. This will, this spark, created plant and animal life of its own accord, from the humblest plankton to the noblest deer, ox, and bat. It created the seas and forests and fields where they would live, and divided the proteic into the 4 elements. However, all the animals it created were immortal and undying as we gods ourselves. So, Pharasma took up the duty of separating these creatures from their souls, creating their dual nature that would make them mortal, and then guiding those souls into the domains of the gods, for whom they resonated. She was to bring a circular balance to life, and so her will was imposed onto that spark of life. Then Varg blinks and goes, "What?"
Annie, could I please get you to read this out?
Certainly. I decided that the body should not simply part from their souls when I dictate it. To create a true balance, the cycles of souls from godly manifestation to mortality to afterlife and back would proceed above, and a matching cycle of energy should occur in the planes below. So I decreed that one form of life would prey upon another, and another upon that, and another upon that. Such a simple design contained a paradox. If a predator were a perfect design, it would have no creature to predate upon it. So instead of such a simplistic single cause of death for all things, I designed 6 other terminalities and incorporated them into my creations.
Brad?
But the spark of life. Sorry, just a second. My push to talk button type stuff.
Yep.
That's super annoying, sorry. But the spark of life, still with some of its will of its own, recognized that as its creatures would prey upon each other by Pharasma's original design, so too should these 6 primal deaths exist as creatures as well. Initially formless and without name, the spark of life invented 6 immortal monsters that could inflict these deaths on all mortals. Baphomet of betrayal, not... Oh, you give me all the freaking names to pronounce, thanks. Nocticula of obsession, Jubilex of poison, Shax of madness, Urkel of demise, and Aldenich of famine. We were repulsed by this corruption, but Pharasma, in her vanity, would not admit to her lack of control over these new creations. They sowed terror into the primitive animals and nascent demigods of the mortal plane, and it took much effort from all of us to merely keep them isolated to the mortal planes without Pharasma's help.
I'll get this one. It took many millennia before these cowards came to a decision about how to deal with immortal demons, and by then we were worshipped by the primitive peoples of our creation. But when this decision came, it brought war. These cowards decreed to take Pharasma's control of the spark of life, and she objected. Aroden and Abadar, paragons of law and contract, sided with her. The war was brief, and Aroden was slain. Oh, his anguish was so pure. In the aftermath of the war, Abadar and Pharasma stood before the judgment of their peers, and those pitiful, pitiable fools could not bring themselves to damn the actions of those who had carried out, dutifully and against all opposition, their assigned roles. And Chris.
And one moment. To prevent another such catastrophe, Pharasma agreed to relinquish control of the spark of life, but not entirely, as she stood by what she considered her decision to create the 6 primal deaths. So we divided the spark of life from her, and gave it a distinct intelligence and wisdom of its own. Pharasma will retain her dominion on managing souls as they divest from life, and Gazra, as he would come to be called, would have exclusive domain into investing souls into new life. And 6 demons, finally captured, would be fused into prison dimensions, and the bonding force between Pharasma and Gozera would be moved to a place where it could not be interfered with, where it would keep the prisons whole.
The silence that would have followed all of this is constantly interrupted by the rapid scratching of quills on paper and some wizard complaining that he's run out of ink.
How
Ephraim,
close is Hard to the one complaining? He's gonna punch him.
There's a spell
Ephraim,
for that. He's an idiot.
Ephraim blinks, having just been channeling the voice of Siren Ray. Not an entirely unpleasant experience, but definitely an unexpected one. And he looks down at the scroll again and slowly closes it. This will have to go to a very private archive. Sit down.
Yeah, the really deep one where we bury shit, I suggest.
That was sort of fun. You should put it out in the museum.
I don't know if the person... one person has to talk in the voice of the god of pain and torture. I don't want to be that guy, so no. Yeah, seal that in a box.
Someone is sent to collect a box.
You know, a locked box made of solid adamantine buried deep in the earth's crust and guarded by an unholy demon and an unholy angel at the same time. Some sort of duality crap. Keep that thing safe. I just learned the creation of all the universe. I don't even have the intelligence to comprehend this crap. But if I'm not incorrect in saying we are fighting a primal force of death, that is Jubilex, this may be a problem. Arg shakes his head. Alright, who here wants to go kill the primal death of poison? Raises his hand.
Yeah, let's go kick his ass.
Yep. Alright, we're still in this for the winning. Give us our tools we need to win, smart guy. Yeah, lol.
Well, before you all rush off and
Go buy
Destroy one of the
things.
6 primal deaths. Someone's writing this down, right? Before you rush off to do that, yeah, you should probably rest. You've been awake for,
What do you think we're
well,
gonna go
a year
do?
or so, I think.
We were going to go rest, purchase what we need if possible, potentially cite saviors of the world and discoverers of the source of all life as perhaps credit for certain things, and check up on a few places.
Ah, um, you will we'll provide you with a map of the last charted boundaries of the ooze, but I believe you owned some sort of airborne contraption last time you were here, yes?
The airship, aye.
Yeah, our
Oh
airship's
crap.
fucked.
We're gonna need to either get a new one or find out where the current one went.
Even if the airship's fine, we haven't paid our crew in 4 years. So.
We owe some back tax.
Yes, that is pretty much exactly what its captain left to tell you. I'll dig up the letter, but the sum of it is that he doesn't work for air, so he's taken his men off to find better to find less dangerous terrain, less dangerous climbs, and will be back someday with the purchase value of his ship.
It's nice that he pretended to, maybe come back if, it occurs to him.
Eh,
Actually, you want to hunt him down, I gotta go do a thing.
you know what? If I have, I'm fine if he just keeps the ship. I'm going to correspond with him later and tell him that.
I want the ship. How are we gonna get around?
I'll pay you back the cash value if you want later.
Fair enough. I need a way of getting around that isn't me carrying you a lot.
Wind walk.
That's me carrying you a lot.
I have shadow walk.
That's
Oh,
inaccurate
yeah.
and only works over very long distances. Actually, it's perfectly accurate, it just takes forever, sorry. Discount. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Probably just get a new airship if you pay me for it.
At our level, we don't need airships anymore.
I like having them. I have a tree to go wake up, some shamblers to summon, and I got a family to go see, apparently. Oh crap, I have a kid now. I was really hoping to have a few more months of not having that thing trying to take over my tribe, but fine.
If you want to, well, if you want to pool the money and you want to spend the extra money, we could get an airship that pilots itself.
That is a good. That's an idea, but we have steps to do before we go and do that.
Yeah, we can put that off till later. I'm just saying, if you really miffed about not having the airship anymore, there's options.
Point. So let's get these things out of the way. First, we rest, because let's face it, all of us are down to dregs.
Yep. Although there is not much, although the city of Sealanan has been slightly depopulated just in the face of the war, most of the population has moved to Elven territories a little bit further south. The city of Ketlir is as strong as ever, and their smaller but still reputable university is much more active these days with keeping war wizards trained up for any necessary military efforts. Freeport is still as bustling as ever, and as is Helmrise, so there's plenty of not too far away locations where you could get necessary shopping done. Also note, as Ephraim has kind of implied, but continues to explain, there is no huge time pressure, as there have not been armies coming out of the Uzan lands for some time now, so they're not aware of anything that would cause time pressure. The southern kingdoms are well away from the threat, and even the cities and villages near Hellswater they've been mostly fending for themselves since the armies out of the Oozan lands stopped. So they're more or less looking out for themselves and succeeding at it for now. So there is nothing that would keep you guys from spending a week or two to get together what the shopping lists that you want and to make necessary visits elsewhere.
Okay. Well, before I finally make my wish, I'm going to make last uses of correspond because there's people I need to talk to before I do that and only have sending.
Me too. So, do your thing with me if you don't mind talking to my tribe. Actually, I need to go in person and see my tribe. Never mind that crap. Can
Actually,
you port me there?
the first thing I would like to actually deal with is, Aislinn. You mentioned something about wanting to, if there is still a wish in that blade, maybe use it to resolve some certain backstory items.
Yes. Although, you know, Alia needs it still, since she still wants to cut off the luck blade.
I have the money for the wish crystal. It was just a way to save me money. You have a lot less money than I do, so you can make more use of the 25,000 gold that actually costs.
Okay, I guess. Do you want me to resolve that wish right now?
Feel free to provide the phrasing for the wish. You have, what was it I gave Ollie? I think it was 5 words per point of int score, not modifier. But that's definitely not a limit that definitely doesn't limit Aislinn. So feel free to phrase the wish that you would like to effect.
Should it be purposefully horrible? Or should I really actually try to ace this thing?
Let's just say that while I'm not going to deliberately try and screw you over, if on my first pass reading it through I see something that is too tempting,
What would be more fun for you?
Go ahead and phrase your wish.
Alrighty then, let's see.
And while you're doing that, Varg, you sure you want to go visit the tribe that has disowned you and demanded your seed in exchange for your blood?
Well, he doesn't seem to be responding, but if he goes up there anyway, I'll go with him.
Hello. Sorry,
Hello.
I had to grab a thing. Is it up?
Yes, I was just asking you, were you sure that you want to go visit the tribe that disowned you and was willing to accept your seed in exchange for your blood?
Yes, I'd like to see how my son is doing, or probably son. Or maybe many things, but willing to leave a son of his son of his loins to chance on the Let's put it this way: Orcish culture has a thing with vengeance, and if the kid ever finds out Varg's alive on his on his own terms, like he's grown up and finds out Varg's still alive, he might come looking for Varg on the off chance Varg returns to take leadership or something, which Varg would never do. But there's no way to assure that unless Varg goes himself while the kid is still small. So, thus, let's go see them.
Yeah, if we're going to have time anyway, I should just head up to Hlosterin and assess the situation. Let them know I'm alive and willing to take my countess title.
Queenship or whatever the hell.
Okay. And if I don't miss,
I may actually do that after my wish, though. So.
Alrighty. Let's see here. I wish my mother, my biological creator, met this moment alone. I have a heart attack, and this effect be permanent, and she cannot haunt me. Let's see here.
She does get a saving throw. Otherwise, she's popped.
Just pulling myself up the what's the can't find it. What was the name of the archetype that gave you that background again?
I'm looking it up.
What are you guys asking?
The what was it that gave her the
She's a
hag?
changeling.
Gotcha.
Changelings have hags for mothers. That's like why they're changelings.
I'm looking up what kind of hag, though.
I think you picked Forest, unless I'm crazy. Or Green Widow, rather, sorry. The one that gives spell resistance, so that's Green Widow, I think.
Green Widow gives a racial bonus to bluff.
So which one gives spell resistance? Because one of them
I'm
does.
looking. There we go. Dreamweaver. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. So Annie, if I remember your background correctly, I'm not 100% sure. I believe you uh, that you know that your mother was a hag, but you've managed to resist the call to go and actually meet her, or how did that work out?
It worked out that Ashlyn kind of has this compulsive and overbearing paranoia that her mother is watching her, and she tries to stay away from anything hag related as much as possible. Or at
Right.
least like general locations she feels she knows.
Okay.
Is her mother gonna like poof in here and start bitching at her or something? That'd be funny.
Pardon me.
Bless you.
All right. Aislinn clutches the luck blade close, concentrates, speaks her wish aloud. Where are you when you do this? Privacy of your quarters? Still sitting at that table? What?
I think she's just in her room.
No. Yeah, privacy of her quarters.
Alrighty.
Fuck you, Mom.
You clutch the blade close. You speak your wish aloud, and the blade pulses in your hands before growing dim and beginning to appear like a simple iron sword. Nothing seems to have immediately happened.
Maybe she's dead, maybe not. Who knows?
Ashlyn just accepts this. Alright. Something might have happened, something might have not. I'm just going to keep the sword still.
All right. Okay, close that. Okay. Brad, are you going to return home before or after returning yourself to a simulacrum of how you were born and
I
how
believe she's
you
going
wish
with
you had
before.
been?
After.
Oh, you want to go to him
Alrighty.
first? Alright, fair enough.
Alrighty.
Her and Varg
Make sure
starts
that goes
packing
off okay
snacks.
before I start messing with my token.
Her and Varg start packing snacks. Hey, Niblin,
Alright.
pack something warm. It's fucking cold there.
Pack it yourself, boss. I'm finding the fastest wagon train back to the Scarred Neck.
Eh?
I was supposed to be home a month later. You brought me home 4 years.
Not my fault.
I don't even know how many of my kids are still alive.
Your
Let
wife
alone
probably
how my
married
wife
Timlin.
is.
I wouldn't think you'd care. The way you treated kids last I checked was like parasites.
They're not mine.
Oh, fair enough. They are yours, so I guess you would. You want me to come with you in case your wife gets violent?
I had 4 dozen mouths to feed, and you took me away gallivanting into some unholy place. Yes, I admit with my consent, but for 4 years.
I didn't. It's not my fault. I didn't know it'd take 4 years. I didn't know how time works there, did you? Because if you knew, telling us would have been awesome.
No.
If you want to blame someone, blame the wizards.
All right. Yeah, that'll work. When I get home, I'll just tell my wife a wizard did it. That'll do.
It's true, a wizard did. But you're probably gonna want me to come with you. I think your kids or your wife might kill you. Like I
You
might be, you
kidding?
might,
The kids are by now the kids will be old enough they could eat me alive.
which is why I'm saying they're gonna kill you. Which is why I should go with you.
No, which is why when I get there, I'm throwing the ruby in first.
Are you 100% sure that'll calm them down enough to not kill you?
Dead certain. All puns intended.
Well, do you need me to come pick you up afters? Because
Nimblin
we still got a demon to go
slowly
kill.
turns and glares.
What? The job's not done. We gotta go kill the demon prince. Because you were there for that. Apparently, it's the primal force of poison death thing or something. I don't know. It's apparently we're gonna go kill death. So you coming or what? The job's not done. Gotta do your job. Besides, sounds like fun.
Boss, you have always had a very distorted sense of what is and is not fun.
Well, I admit I don't like chewing on the oozes, but it gets the job done. So when can I expect to pick you up? Need like a day or two, week?
You'll need to rename the first token first there. Well, it'll take at least a few days for the wagon train to get out there, so
I could just take you.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, if they see you, they'll know you were to blame.
How do they know I'm me? I could just be a big fucking eagle, or I could be a puff of cloud.
Point taken.
If I kind of blame you start blaming clouds for your disappearance, I think you have bigger problems.
The gnomes have gotten up to worse.
Point. So I'll just get you home, you spend a couple weeks with them, and then we'll go and take care of that demon prince of death or something.
I, I, I think I've had enough of the adventuring life now, boss. I'd like to take my ladder and go home.
Arg pauses and looks to him. Niblin, you've been through. I mean, I had you from the beginning. I mean, what? Arg is honestly quite shocked.
Boss, let's never mind how you just threw me into every source of fire you came across for those first several months.
Give me a break. Is that a try? You're intelligent and it didn't kill you, so you know.
Doesn't mean it didn't hurt.
Like we weren't getting hurt during those early days of adventuring.
Oh, yes. Fine. Just throw the
Never.
indestructible one into the fire. See how it feels.
Hey, do you have any idea what I've been sticking in my mouth for the past year? Or 4 years, apparently? I have been sticking shit in my mouth that doesn't belong there.
Your diet is your problem.
And what you decide to be thrown into is yours.
I did not decide. You summoned me, picked me up by the ear, and hurled me into gouts of burning.
And I paid you for it. How many people would have paid you for that?
Point taken, but
I mean, I didn't have to pay you a dime. You were perfectly under my control.
I'm overdue home. I think I need to go home.
Really?
At least long enough to, have the wife recognize me again.
Shakes his head. Lamblin, I'm gonna miss you. You're really the only one I could trust out of this group. I'm not gonna make you stay. We're going into heavy enough stuff to where you can choose to retire, I suppose, and mites don't live that long. Well, before you go, the least I can do is get you a ladder back. Is there any request you have of me before you go? Because I'm gonna visit. Don't think I won't fucking visit. I might have a kid now, apparently, but I'm visiting you.
I'll make sure we leave. I'll make sure we leave a candle in the window, so you can tell which one is us. But it's going to be it's going to be a west-facing window. We leave it in an east. If we leave it in an east-facing window, the gnomes will use it for artillery target.
Smart. Oh, see, that's why I like you. You're smart. Smarter than any of us. He sits down. Well, if you're gonna go, you're gonna go, but that request still stands. If you have something you want from me, now's the time.
I think I'm going to take my treasure and go.
Fair enough. Will you at least accept the gift?
A ladder?
Ladder.
I can make a new one.
All the
From
same,
the bones
though.
of gnomes.
All the same, though, if you're ever thinking any of your kids get a wild hair up the behind and want to go somewhere adventurous, he reaches into his back and pulls out the map of the Underground River Network, made by goblins way in the gullet, way back when he first started. Passes that to Niblin. Just point them towards the gullet and give them this map and tell them if they really want adventure so bad, that's the way to go. It's where I started. Maybe they'll learn something.
Sounds like a deal.
Alright, Niblin, I'll get you home at least before we part ways. You want to fly by Cloud or by Eagle? Cloud's faster. Just curious comfort.
To be frank, I'm gonna need the couple days just to steel myself up. I think the wagon will be safer.
Alright. Take what you have. I wish you luck. It was good having you, Niblin. On my honor, I shall not ever summon a mite of your clan, so long as I have the power to summon mites, I suppose. Just to save you the trouble of explaining things. Wish you luck, little guy. Don't stick your head into any fires now, you're not invincible. Don't steal anything that doesn't belong to you unless they're not looking. Not every big person you see is as stupid as me. And avoid Jubilex. I think he might recognize you.
Boss, you might want to be careful of that spot on the floor there. You dropped some sage advice on it.
Hey, I'm stupid. But not that stupid. He stands up, offers his hand for a shake, pats the guy on the back afterwards, and lets him go.
And Blood disappears into the city night to go looking for a wagon train to hire. Or at least headed in the right direction.
The good news is there probably will be some wagon trains going that direction nowadays. Varg is a little bit sober for the next couple days, like both in the alcohol sense and the mood sense, but otherwise he'll get going as soon as Aaliyah says, hey, I'm ready to go north.
Is Aishlin going to go with those two into Alastria, far to the north, or does she want to get something done here in Sialanen, or maybe over at Ketlir?
What was that second option?
Well, there's the university here in Sialanen, but there's also the Battle College and garrison in Ketlir.
The college sounds interesting. She'd go off and do that.
Alrighty.
So, did everything go well enough for me to make my new token?
Your wish, right? Oh,
That's
yeah.
when your arms fell off.
Lol.
Oh, and yeah, everyone now has enough free time and spell slots to get rid of those curses that are on everyone and restore the horrendous whiz damage that's on some of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg took 5 whiz damage. I'm surprised. Oh, Varg never got cursed, but and even Amesua took 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's a dinged up. I'm gonna imagine they're gonna try and haggle and get it for free from these lazy wizards. Bye, Niblin.
Alrighty. I have cut the Alia token off of Luton inventory. You can drop the new one on. Really? What's going on here? Okay, give it another shot. Seriously? Alright, what's the file name? Are you dragging and dropping a file from your file system, or are you copy-pasting a token from another MapTools instance?
I was dropping a picture from my computer.
Well, there's nothing else named Alia on the board now. Could you upload the picture to like Imager or ImageCheck and send me the URL?
If it's a naming problem, I'll just rename it. There we go.
There you go. Alright, give you the appropriately colored halo. Add the observer to the ownership. Give you the correct property set. What is your vision?
That depends on what artifact you give me. It'll be normal unless I have something that enhances it.
Okay. All right, your token is set up with the blank. You can start filling it in.
What artifact did I get in its place?
Alrighty, so you take your crystal into a room that can be easily closed off. Do you want anyone with you there to witness or possibly provide backup?
I don't know if I told anybody I was going to do this.
Not in channel.
Yeah, no, I'm going to let everyone be surprised.
No, we're
Alrighty.
not going to be surprised at all because you changed history to where it never happened. So,
I'm not changing history, just my own memories. Changing history is well beyond the scope of the spell.
I
Wait,
see.
so if you're changing your own memories, how are you changing your physical self?
Part of the wish.
What?
You will find out in a moment. I just wanted to know if there would be anyone else there to witness it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, Aaliyah does have a unique signet ring that identifies her as her, so anybody who knows her will notice that.
Unfortunately, the signet ring is not going to be changed by this. Mostly because it predates Alia.
I got it from my mommy.
Okay, Alia, you arrange the crystal in front of you. Make sure that the door is bolted. Brace yourself and make the necessary incantations. And suddenly you feel you expected your body to change right around your very eyes. You did not expect to feel your body ripped from your soul, see it fall into darkness below you, and see another body come flying up from below, pass right through your old one, and then slam into your consciousness. You wake up what feels like some hours later, laying on the floor and quite perplexed as you look around and find yourself in an unfamiliarly made up room. After a minute, you realize no, the room is still the same place, but you don't feel like you were here a moment ago. You look over yourself and find that you everything is exactly as you remembered it. Party, exactly as it's written up on your new character sheet. But something feels odd about the place you now find yourself in, as though you remember being in a different room a few seconds ago, but it looked exactly the same. And also, you were wearing a helmet. Now you're not. In fact, now, as you pat yourself down and check that everything's still there, you find in a pocket an unfamiliar writing quill.
Cool.
While I pull up the page for that, you may act as you please while I pull up the page for it.
Well, I'm going to go seek out my good friend Varg and tell him how weird I'm feeling today.
He's somewhere within the university grounds, probably in quarters only a short walk from yours.
Sure, I'm feeling a little uneasy and creepy in my room. I'm gonna go take a walk and over to his room and see how he's doing.
You find Varg's room. Knock. Varg, what were you doing in this room about an hour before supper hour?
Most likely debating whether or not to drink himself into a coma and try and come up with a suitable epitaph for Niblin.
There is a knock at the door.
Goes over and opens it. What?
There is an unfamiliar woman standing there.
What?
Hey Varg, I'm feeling a little weird. I was wondering if we could talk for a bit.
And you are who? Wait.
Oh, you and your funny joking around all the time.
Varg,
I know that
it's
voice.
been about half a year, your time, since you last saw her, but you begin to recognize this human.
Leia.
Yeah, of course.
You get a breast reduction?
Sorry, that got eaten up by the thing.
Did you get a breast reduction?
No.
Alright, come in. Opens the door, lets her in, sits down on the bed. Alright.
So I'm Varg's presuming Ollie is using her glamoured armor again.
Or something to similar, yeah.
Right out.
I don't know. I was just sleeping and I woke up and I have this weird feeling like I don't know.
You have a nightmare, missing part of your flesh, Jubilex curse you, any of that?
No,
You just got a weird feeling.
no, I can't explain it. I just feel like I just spent a lot of time as someone else.
Is your glamour on? Maybe that's it. Because you're not looking like yourself, so I'm going to say your glamour's on.
I don't have any glamours. I haven't had glamours since I since I upgraded my armor over a year ago.
That upgrade was the glamour. You have
No.
glamours. Where's Sappy? Ask him.
I pull out my bow and ask him.
Where'd you get that?
That's Sappy.
No, Sappy's a stick. That's why you call him Sappy. He's a stick.
He's always been a bow. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sappy, have you always been a bow?
Of course I have been.
That's not Sappy. Sappy's a sarcastic bastard. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Points at Leah.
I am Sapporo Biru, Hobo of the Heavens.
Aaliyah named you Sappy because you were a stick. You were a sap. A thing you club someone with. You hit the dragon over the head, knocked it out.
Yes, and I was hewn from a sappy tree.
Face palms. What did you do, Aaliyah? You did something. I know you're to blame here. Just tell me what you did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not even an hour ago, you were the thing I reincarnated you as. You were killed, and I reincarnated you back into a elven body, and you didn't like. Oh, that's what you did.
I was never killed. What are you talking about?
Oh God, where's the luck blade? Stands up. You have the luck blade on you. Yeah, I know he doesn't know Aisha. I said though. You have a luck blade on you. Spins Leah around, checks her luck blade. Don't look like it. You must have done it on your own time. Because you never liked the body I gave you or got for you, so I'm gonna take a guess that you fucked something up. You did something. Sapporo, whatever. Sappy. What do you remember? Like, when did she get you? What were you when she got you? Because you were something before you were intelligent, so what were you?
I was a bow.
And where'd you get the bow?
I bought it in Freeport.
No, you did not. It was an heirloom that you had from your family beforehand. Did not buy anything.
No, and when I set out, I had a sap, but I put that aside when I bought Sappy.
Sappy was.
Uh,
You fucked with your memories, didn't you?
Yeah, just as an aside, Sappy isn't the sap I started with. I
No,
thought.
Varg doesn't know that. He assumes.
Yeah.
Well, great. You fucked with your own memories. So now you don't even remember half the crap correctly. All right, let's nail this down for you. You've died once, and I reincarnated you into an elf. You didn't like it, so you turned back into this. And if you start arguing with me, I'll go get the other people who were there when it happened.
I think you're remembering things wrong.
You clearly remember that after
I will
you
go
were
get the
after you
people.
were captured at the fortress of Krenmark, and your friends came and bartered your release. They took you away. You had to flee at the last minute as they changed their mind and decided to pursue you and not let you go. And yeah, you made it away from there, and it took quite a lot of healing to get your guts back on the right side of your belly button. But yeah, that all worked out. You don't remember being killed then.
I'll go talk to the wizards later, see if they can get your memory back the way it should be. Because, fine, you can have whatever body you want. I don't care. I regularly change skins. It's this memory fucking around you're doing that's bad for you. Do you at least know what we have to do next? You know, Jubilex.
Yeah, I didn't. We're gonna go fight Jubilex, but first we were gonna go up to Hlosterin and tell them I'm alive.
And they won't recognize you at all, isn't that? Well, actually, they'll recognize you better now. Regardless, god damn. I'll have you talk to the wizards and maybe find Namithra wherever she got to. She might be able to sort you straight, headwise. Right, if you're done being crazy, we can go north.
Alia, you have no memory of anyone named Namithra.
Who's Namithra?
You gotta be kidding me. Okay, who am I?
You're Varg.
Okay, who do we travel with?
Aishlin, Drake, and Gret.
Okay, who did we
Ashlyn,
travel
sorry.
with? Who did we travel with when we were down in the underground caverns?
I will defer to the GM as to my memories on that.
The underground caverns? What, back
when Var was first introduced.
Let's see here. That was Logan, Dilnith, and
The Mithra.
Logan, Dilnuth, and some other paladin who Alia had brought with her from her homeland.
Now, when did Nemethra get into it then? I don't remember that. I can distinctly remember Nemethra being there like 90% of the time, so.
Oh, yes, Bard. You remember Nemethra being there.
Well, when did she get first introduced, i.e., when she was first part of the party? Because he's going to ask, okay, who was there? Like, who replaced her in her memories, or did she just never exist in her memories? Because there's quite a few times where Nemethra saved our asses, so who was saving our asses? That's a big chunk of memory to be gone.
Well, Alia and a young paladin in training were they fled together as they fled together thinking to get eloped, but eventually changed their minds and just continue fleeing from home and stuck together for a while. He eventually left a couple months after Alia remembers meeting up with Varg, but they traveled together for some time before he finally went his way.
Who helped us take the Jut stronghold?
Well, that was him and Drake and Alia and Varg.
Who is this guy?
I'll let Alia give him an actual name.
Just a sec. Good old Seventh Sanctum. I'm just going to... Just a second.
Doo-doo-doo.
His name is Cliff Bryan.
Alright, when we get back to your wherever, we're looking for Cliff Bryan, because I don't think he exists. But Niblin does. We'll go talk to her.
Just out of character, I think I know what happened. I switched my memories and being with an Aaliyah from an alternate reality.
Potentially.
That's the only way that makes any sense. Because that's the only way I wouldn't remember Nemethra, since she was a big part of stuff before I died.
And after. Alright, well, with that sort of pseudo settled in the same sense that, halfway eating a donut is settled, let's get north.
You do remember how to do your psychotic porting, right?
He totally expects her to have no idea how to use any of her powers. He's just determined to win to do it the hard way.
Sure, I can teleport us. I would use Shadow Walk to do it. May I point out that I hate your new attack macro?
Oh?
It's super complicated. I don't like it.
It is the way it is because it gives the relatively easily configurable option to add things like enabling and disabling power attack and vital strike, and it accounts for the proper way to roll extra critical damage dice. So yes, it's more complicated, but it really does give me a lot of extra features that I need.
Okay, do you mind setting it up for me?
Sure. Got your. Where's your character sheet? There's your character sheet.
Sappy has a lot of bonuses, so...
Yep.
Alright, port us north. I need to go talk to my family. You need to talk to yours. Or whatever accounts for your family.
I need a melee and ranged version since he's also a club. Whack.
Yep. Alright, are you hands off on your token for now?
Yep, I'll finish my spells and stuff when you're done that.
Okay. Let me... do you have any DR or spell resistance or anything?
No, I don't even have energy resist anymore. That all got sold off.
Gotcha.
Although I can negate one critical hit a day. Okay, yeah. Other than that, I'm ready to head up north. Do you want a wind walk or shadow walk up there?
Well, it's pretty far. Let's just shadow walk. Also, it's pretty cold.
Oh, and Alia, that unfamiliar quill in your pocket. Would you like to try and identify it?
Sure. Just let me check what my new spellcraft is. New Knowledge Arcana is plus 22. And I didn't bother with spellcraft ranks. Okay. I'm totally going to identify an artifact level of item with a 38.
Yeah, when you had fallen asleep, you were wearing a Decemvirate helm, but for some reason, when you woke up, you had in your pocket a Revelation quill.
Cool. I'm not imaginative enough to use that in any useful way.
That's an interesting little tidbit of magic. Might want to ask it, hey, how come I don't remember things that Varg is telling me at some point?
Is Varg what now?
Why do I not remember the events that happened that Varg is regaling to me? Or why
Because
do I
Varg
not
is
remember
crazy.
Okay, if it writes that out, there's a problem. Otherwise, if that's that, unless you have something to ask it, I guess we should head north.
Fortunately, there is not any such degree of confusion when you meet up with Amesua, because, well, she doesn't see your body; she sees your soul, and as far as she's concerned, you're no different than you were last night.
Other than I'm now giving her +1 to will saves. Natural born leader.
Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty. I know Varg needs some interactions from me as far as figuring out what has been up with his people and what their plans are for the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, what sort of interactions are you planning on engaging in Alastria?
Well, first, I would have to probably go back to the capital and confirm with them that I am not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to take control of my
Inheritance.
which I'm sure they've given to somebody I don't like.
Well, there is someone of your father's choosing stewarding it at the moment, but
And Hopefully goblins haven't run over the whole place. So yeah, I got my signet ring. I'm heading to Elastria, proving I am not dead.
Righto. The necessary formalities of the necessary formalities that are not particularly interesting, and you are quite pleased to find that Alastria's borders have in fact grown a good 10 miles further north, thanks in part to a certain band of orcs recently introduced to the area that have kind of made it difficult for goblins to make any sort of attack on Alastria's more eastern borders with Gratask.
Haha, you're welcome.
The land is not yet inhabited, but it is formally claimed, and currently Alastria and Gratask are not involved in any strong war efforts. You meet with the steward of your lands, which are quite close to the capital, so they would not have been overrun. And while they are quite happy to see you after several years, they also know that you were gone for a couple years before you last came back, anyways. So the steward seems to have kept reasonably good care of your lands, although, well, it's a hard land this far north, and the people are never quite happy.
Well, in order to celebrate my coming home, how many people does Heroes Feast feed?
Heroes Feast. All spells. HQ. Not heroic invocation. Heroes Feast conjures a meal. Feast for one creature per level.
Cool. I'm going to throw a party for 18 other people then. Come on, people. So yeah, just top level officials. I'll throw a Heroes Feast for them.
Righto. The staff administering Gemnavan Port are quite pleased that you're showing your face and showing that you're growing strong in the distant lands, and that someday you might come back and make a wise and fair ruler.
That's the plan.
Varg keeps stealing other people's plates.
What are they gonna do about it?
Stop it.
I'm hungry. I'm like 3 times their size. I'm gonna eat.
The feast is not interrupted by Varg's festivities.
My bow's merciful. Don't make me knock your ass out.
Let me break your bow.
After reasserting your position in the local court, you take Varg the rest of the way north.
I wonder if there's more of them.
Well, there's some permanent structures now, which is probably a change for the better. Your tribe used to be semi-nomadic, and well, 8 months of winter is not really amenable to that kind of lifestyle. So they've been adapting. There's some permanent log longhouses these days, and the village has grown considerably.
Good. I'm gonna give him a fort. But we'll get to that. I guess I should announce myself in full gear and, try and not start a war.
Okay. Are you showing up as the lizard you are, or are you going to disguise yourself as an orc?
I'll disguise myself as an orc. I'm not sure how the climate is around here just yet.
Right. Just remind me, you're wild shaping to an orc, or?
Damn, might as well.
All right. Just need to know the nature of your disguise.
Okay, so I'm an orc. Doop-de-doop-de-doop.
Okay.
Gonna just sort of approach quietly,
Yep.
carrying the stuff I carry.
Please make me a disguise check to determine how well you mimic your birth features.
Disguise is based on charisma, yes.
I believe so. Yes.
And by using wild shape, I believe it's just a flat plus 20, so here you go. 24. Look like an orc. Plus any bonus for actually having been an orc. And probably walking like one.
Alrighty. You strut into the village.
As is my right, I will strut where I will.
You're surrounded by whispers on your way in, and Alia, are you escorting him?
I'd rather her not, if at all possible. That might send a bad message.
I probably shouldn't.
Alrighty.
I'm bummed
That
about
might
not having
send.
trucing.
That might send a very bad message. So can you just wait outside for a bit? Yeah.
Bird, you wander in, and
Beeline for the biggest tent. I know where the chief sits.
already.
Just biggest, most stable building in the area is where the leader is. That's just how it is.
Yep. It's not so much a tent anymore. You'd expect to be a tent about, a huge sheet of hide propped up by one vertical log. Now it's more of a circular pyramid of logs.
A little more sturdy, a little more permanent. Fair enough.
Covered in pitch, but it is
fucking
quite
cold.
obvious. It is quite obviously hut shaped, and it is at the geographic center of the village.
Fair enough. Does it have a door to knock on?
It has a guard to knock on. He completely covers the door.
I grunt at him. You gonna let me in, or I gotta take you apart piece by piece?
What business do you have with the Chiefess's council?
I'd like to see my son.
Your son?
Did it not take the first time?
The Chiefess has no sons.
Damn it, I need to go make one. Fuck me with a stick. I thought that one would have worked. Okay, I need to go visit the chieftainess and continue my contract obligation.
He eyes you, grins, and steps aside, lifting the hide curtain.
There's a good muscle-bound idiot. I go in.
You step in. You see Kier looking older than ever and resting.
How are you still in one piece?
Looking older
You were
than ever.
old when I.
You were, yes. She was old when you were born. Resting on some furs, and on the other side of you, you see Nilsi, who is holding a book of all things, and is reading something written in. From the sound of it, you're going to guess Draconic. Reading something in Draconic to the 3 young orcish girls sitting on her lap.
Our headbutts his own fist. Alright, he thunks his staff in the ground. I got words for everyone in this damn room, practically. Oh, old bag. How are you still alive, number one?
Kier wakes up, glares in your general direction, blinks, sits up, glares at you specifically instead of just at the source of that voice, and then starts shrieking curses at you. Nilsi
I'll weather that.
hears the commotion, notices you, takes the girls off of her lap, and strides over to you to glare. We told you never to show your face again, dead man.
This isn't my face. I changed it. I got words, smart mouth. It's been a while. I was worried you might have been wiped out or worse. Besides, I never gave my spawn their gift, if you would. Parting gift from a dead man, you know.
Nilsi sneers.
Inheritance, that's their word. Inheritance is the word.
Nilsi sneers, but eventually cedes the point. You could have seen how we lived from the air, but I will grant you your right to see your daughters.
Really, just daughters?
Oh my gosh, that's so precious.
She turns and gestures to the three girls who are glaring at who are glaring at you only because they saw their mother glaring at you.
Glare harder. It won't kill anything.
By the
Waste
way,
energy.
I said mother.
Well, hey, he was hoping one of the three would take.
No, these are triplets.
Oh. Fork snorts. Looks to poor Ilse. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
While your back's turned, you suddenly find that two of them have climbed up your back, and are attempting to stab you in the back with crude flint knives. They're not penetrating.
Okay, credit where credit is due. They got spunk. Picks them both up and gives them looks. Listen, short stuff. If you're gonna try and kill someone, at least do it in a fashion that you know that works. Running up and trying to stab someone with a stinking knife is not gonna work 9 times out of 10. You need to know what you kill before you kill it. Do you go and hunt a stag before you know if it's hurt or not? Tosses them halfway across the room. Not forcefully, just you don't want to pile it first. Now you little squats, I'm gonna give you something you better appreciate it. Pack up warm, we're going outside. Not a single son. Damn me to hell. Yeah,
I rolled 3d2. I got all ones. Then I decided that maybe they should all be Nelsie's.
That's fine. I don't mind. Hey, that happens. If they're gonna take them out, like if they're gonna follow him, he does want them to come outside to see the thing he's gonna give them.
Sure.
All right. Once everyone's outside, I turn to the chieftainess at this point.
Oh, hold on a second.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, they might have lizard traits. I don't know. I haven't inspected them. Probably gonna ask.
See if they have little tails. That'd be really cute.
See if they have trouble warming themselves up without basking on a rock.
Out here,
See if
they
they have
freeze to
sharp
death.
pointy teeth.
Orcs have sharp teeth. That wouldn't be anything different.
See if they have no teeth. See if they like bugs.
God.
Sorry about that. Something came tumbling down the stairs.
Okie dokie.
Was it eggs?
They actually brought up a good question. Varg would wonder, are they pure orc, or
You cannot tell by casual inspection.
just why he's asking?
You cannot tell by casual inspection.
Strip them.
Varg scratches his jaw. If they've got traits that'll help them kill things, you might want to teach them how to use those. You know, maybe. And why were you reading to them? What's reading done for anyone?
Nilsi simply stares at you deadpan. Don't
Fine,
tell
dead
me
man
how
shuts
to
up.
raise my daughters.
I'm not telling you how, I'm complaining how. Different. If I was telling you how, I'd already have taken them. To go hunt something. With teeth. Right, so I need to go give you your gift, don't I? And it's for you too, as ungrateful as you are. He looks around the village. What here, like, where he looks to the chieftainess, you'd know best about this territory. Where's some place you'd want to have a good view of the surrounding countryside? Some place you can defend and get easy access to, because these structures are too permanent to just move and put it here. And you'll know what I mean by it, but it needs a lot of space.
These plains are flat and featureless, with specks, with scattering trees from here until the goblin settlements in the north. There, the hills begin to roll, and the goblins begin to flow.
You got a preference for towers or walls?
What madness are you talking?
He thumps his foot, and a gigantic wall just springs into existence. I just want like a foot-thick wall to go up as high as he can make it. That, he says, and then pushes it over away from the village, and it thongs into the ground. You want a fortress? That is my gift. Some place to defend and hold against any goblin incursion you can name. You want to have a permanent place to stay warm? I'm giving it to you.
As you say this, there begins to be scatterings and rolls of laughter from all around you. Look at this village, Varg, you fool. This simple wooden home has gone unmolested by the goblin filth ever since you left. They do not attack us. They fear us.
Congratulations.
We need no greater home.
He snorts. Have you ever fought goblins?
Every week since we got here.
Not attacked goblins who are squatting on their holes. Had goblins come for you. All of them.
Hundreds a week.
Not bad. I'm proud of my tribe. Fair enough. He still thumps his chest. How about south?
To the south there is a cold river. On the far side, the legal boundaries with Hlosterin. You notice that Nilsi kind of has to twist her tongue in order to get the word legal out. She says it in common, not orcish.
Humans don't fight like goblins. I offer this in the case you need it. Not because I think you need it, but because any place that can call itself a true... He twists his head. What is the word in Orcish? Biggest village? Capital is what he's looking for, so he says it in common. Any place they call it a capital has a place that can defend itself from a serious attack. If goblins pose no threat, goblins pose no threat. I'm suspicious of the humans, to be completely honest.
Our loyal allies to the south gifted us this land and have not come across us since. Bloodrinker, you are redundant in this place.
He snorts. Fine. If you do not seek what I decided to provide, what would you want, other than me leaving? I will not have my children completely bereft of any inheritance.
I think you should give your daughters exactly what every orcish son would ask from his father. A necklace of your teeth to remember you by.
Scratches his jaw.
Now she's
Fair
just trying to
enough.
see if he'll do it.
Can lizard men regrow their teeth?
Yes. That's actually something they do very easily.
That's awesome. Those just
They're like
just talk-
crocodiles. They just lose them all the time, get new ones all the time. Bark shrugs. If that is what my daughters would wish of me, I can grant them that. Seems a small thing to one as I. But if that is all they seek, I shall give it. Unless they had some, being young as they are, does their mother have something else in mind?
From the way she's looking you up and down, you suspect she might prefer to have your spine to hang on her wall.
You can hate me as much as you want, but it won't do you any good.
And that's why you're alive, or at least not attacked.
True enough. I have great power, as you can see, and I am offering it to your services. Don't throw this away while I'm in a good mood. I'm about to go... You won't believe me, but I'm about to go kill Death, so I'd like to get this out of the way.
Hold on a second here.
Or at least sit Death down and punch his teeth in.
Let's see here.
Because he is a druid, he could legitimately give him like better heart. I know orcs don't generally farm, but out here you get food where you can get it, so...
That doesn't last very long. Ah, this might do. Alrighty. Nilsi seems to seriously consider your words, and eventually speaks up. There's very little prey worth hunting in these cold lands, and as such, we have problems finding worthy hunts for our Orcan who have come of age. I believe there is a power that you might possess that would let you attract animals that would be worthy hunts to this place.
Indeed, I have this power.
The one I'm talking about, she doesn't know it by name.
Yes, sympathy.
If you would bring us a worthy hunt if you would attract a worthy hunt to this place, that we might have ourselves a great hunt with all of the village. That would be a suitable tribute to your people.
Very well. I'll use Commune with Nature to find anything that would be worthy of such a hunt within the area. Something big and nasty. That'd take a whole village of orcs.
In these far north lands, the moose grow very large and violent.
Dire moose?
Not so much dire as, they sharpen their antlers on stone, not trees.
And that would be the biggest, nastiest thing.
That is always in the area? Yes.
I'm just seeing if there's anything passing through that might provide a unique and powerful hunt. Frostworms and the like.
Let's see here. No, not in these lands. If you went into the White Wastes, you could find all kinds of stuff. But no, these lands are semi-civilized, even if the civilization is goblins.
So a moose, then. Are there any dire moose in the area of this variety? Because of that variety, Christ above a dire moose of those would be like this elephant monster.
There are dire moose in the area.
Good. Dire moose would be a worthy challenge for a whole tribe, don't you think? Alrighty. I'm just trying to see. If I can, I will pick a dire moose that is albino or has other significance, but there's no way to really specificize that kind of stuff.
Oh, otherwise, the spell attracts creatures of the specified kind. All the dire moose in range will be attracted.
That's a lot of dire moose. How many dire moose are in range?
Commune with Nature cannot answer that.
Pity. He thinks. He looks at his tribe. Looks at, the mother specifically, as he's going to refer to her in his head. Do you think your tribe, our tribe, yours more than mine, could handle a herd of dire moose?
Pardon me?
He's asking her whether or not she thinks the tribe could handle a herd of dire moose. He's not familiar enough with the tribe to actually.
We do when we can, but they do not wander near enough to be easy to hunt in a single day's outing. The cold gets through to you before they come close to the village.
Every dire moose within, let's see, what's the range on this? It doesn't seem to have a range. It's not the one I'm seeing. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have a range. So, creatures that are within long enough to travel within 2 hours per level, Christ, like 2 days. Like 2 days moose travel away. Alright, he'll just say that. 2 days, as the crow flies, every single dire moose within 2 days of the crow's fly of this village will come to you. Every single one. Is that a hunt?
Some orc nearby raises a spear and shouts, "It is a hunt!"
Bar goes to the local center totem. Bard very pointedly ignores the hell out of that as he goes to the center totem and casts sympathy on it, like in the center of the village.
Alrighty.
Trying not to get overrun by moose. It's not a death I want for my tribe. And I'll have the necklace shortly. I need a minute alone. Varg will provide the necklace. He just needs a minute alone to basically spit out teeth, cast generate, and move on.
Yep.
They are getting lizard man teeth, so they might be a bit different.
Why doesn't Var simply show himself as a lizard man again? He's already ostracized from his clan.
Sorry, what?
I said, why doesn't Var just show himself to be a lizard man?
Bad taste.
Bad taste.
They remember him as an orc. He led this tribe as an orc. Then he died and had to be reincarnated, and now he's a lizard man.
Ah, so it'll only just be proving a point. Okay, I was just wondering.
And as far as they're concerned, he should have died and stayed dead because that is the orcish way. As far as they're concerned, he's no different from a ghost that's come back to haunt them.
Technically, he could turn to a cloud and follow them.
Yes, he could. He could do a lot of things to annoy them if he wanted to. He could wipe them out if he really wanted to, but he won't. And he doesn't
could
plan
go
to.
around going,
They're gonna do a damn thing about it.
He should really just try doing that one time just to see if they'd catch on.
They could see him, they'd catch on.
No, not what I mean, but whatever.
Regardless,
also, Milsey is a somewhat leveled summoner. She'd smack him with a dispel and then sick the dogs on him.
And he'd eat the dogs, wouldn't he?
Well, that's beside the point.
Regardless, I'm assuming the spell goes off without too much trouble, and Varg will stay. He might actually just he'll leave once he gives the necklace, but he might like check to see how many moose are like stampeding in that direction. Because there's like 100 moose bearing down on them. You might want to intercede a little.
What's the range on your commune with nature?
Yeah, considering I'm a druid, it's 2 miles. I'll double check.
Thought it was mile per level or something like that.
That's why I'm double checking. 1 mile per caster level, so in that case, it's 19 miles.
Alrighty. You have another commune with nature?
I've only asked it to spell two questions anyway.
I believe there's a time limit on how long you have to ask, though.
Nope. I can sit here as long as I want, as long as I don't. I can. No time limit. Just ask whatever.
Alrighty. There are large moose with huge horns headed in this direction, and it's not an insurmountable number. You think the tribe will be eating well for the next week, and will not have to shame their sons who have just come of age, but have nothing to hunt anymore.
Good. Maybe a few will die who are weak and fodder, but otherwise, through that fact that none of my sons, because I don't have any, can't go on the hunt, pisses him off. But otherwise, a good hunt is a good hunt.
Yep. Just remember to count yourself off the 1500 GP of components.
Otherwise, Varg will take a moment to quietly go in a corner, did his teeth, spit out some teeth, grow them back.
I'm the one who does that.
Yeah, I know. Spit out some teeth, grow them back, hand him over the necklace.
Ow. 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 Ow.
Ow.
There.
That's enough.
Thread them in wheat, folks.
I suggest using the moose intestine to thread them. Otherwise, he'll hand the teeth. He has to get enough for 3 necklaces, so he might be there a bit. Good thing he's a lot of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, 3 necklaces for 3 little girls.
Wouldn't about it.
Varg's little princesses.
He reminds them, again, that they should know something before they try and kill it. Because otherwise they're just wasting knife.
One of them affectionately stabs you in the foot.
Yeah. He gives her a toss of the hair. I like this one. Brave. Stupid. Brave. She looks to their mother and just says, "Take good care of them."
And
take good care of them.
And one of them, the blue-eyed one, looks up at you with one eyebrow raised and says, "Are you really my daddy?"
Nods. Aye. You didn't spring from nowhere.
Why do you have a tail?
Don't you?
She runs away back to the tent. Well, Chief's pyramid.
He laughs. She'll be fine. Wonder if she does have a tail. Well, regardless. That's settled. Dead man must move on. They got their thing. I'm getting out of here before the moose start tackling me for no damn reason.
Alrighty.
Oh, Bog's not going to bloody bring it up. If she has the ability to see things as they are, that's a great gift she should hold close to her heart and not trumpet. Years down the line.
Do you have anything else to do while you are at the village?
Not particularly. I might just watch to see how the hunt goes and see if any other kids show some particular abilities while they're watching. Otherwise, nope. I'll just grab a Lydia and head south again. And then brag about how his kids are magic. I have magic kids. Who you got?
A magic bow.
Yeah, but I have magic kids. You can't buy that.
Magic fingers.
You can't buy magic kids.
Guess you can.
Not from reputable places.
Magic black market.
You can buy them, but I will fight it valiantly against any who would sell them.
Uh-huh. Aislinn.
Yes.
You made your way without much incident from the city of Siolanen to the city of Ketlir, and found yourself amongst the battle college there, where they're mostly about training up wizards for the war effort. Which, yeah, there's definitely a war. It was always just a standing non-peace with the goblins, but it is definitely a war with the armies that came marching out of the Uzan lands for so long. So they're very much about training up wizards to do battle here, not effectively, but sufficiently. Is there anything you would like to do here from a character standpoint?
On a character standpoint, I would analyze and offer advice to the spells that were being cast and being trained. Offer, miscellaneous strategies. Show off.
So basically, you'd like to use some of your expertise and be a part-time teacher for a week or two. Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. I am going to treat this as a profession check.
Does natural affiliation count for anything?
Affiliation?
Because it's like magic, it's not just them going to go hitch a ride on some random profession.
Imagination's a great practical teacher, but a theoretical teacher she is not. For
Yeah.
goodness sake, she talks to her crazy animal friend about spells. The rest of these guys have to sit down with like theorems and books and mathematically prove they can throw a fireball.
She still knows stuff.
Exactly, but
Oh,
she's a
yes.
different kind of magic, so she'd be fiddly. I mean,
So
it's close, but
what I would like you to do is take...
wait a second. She's not teaching crap. Her pet is. Her pet's sitting there regaling them with how to do this shit.
What I
It
would
would
like you
also
to...
help her familiar get acclimated with the, mortal climate.
Yes. So, instead of using a profession check, I would like you to make a... I would like you to use your spellcraft, and we're going to roll it as though you were using it as a profession.
The worst case scenario, if I fail this, could I perhaps charm everybody in the university? I could actually probably pull that off too.
Mm-hmm.
You're surrounded by powerful wizards. Don't try.
You'd probably get noticed.
Worth a notion.
Anyways, so the way this is going to work is I am going to ask you to make 7 spellcraft checks, not knowledge arcana, because you're not trying to remember something you understand about magic, but you're trying to ply the craft of using spells and help educate others. So please make me 7 spellcraft rolls.
Does that work?
Nope, keep
Alright, rolling
going.
the rest of them.
Yep. Remember, you can just press up to repeat the last thing you typed.
I see, I was pushing down. So
Gotcha.
5 you said, or 7?
7.
Well, that first class learned something.
Alrighty.
Well, what wound up happening?
I beg pardon?
I said, so what wound up happening?
What wound up happening is... so let's see here. From the stuff sold on the plane of acid, you earned... Your share of it was such.
Yay.
And by plying your trade in a time of need, given that your time is... You have managed to cull together another... there we go. Alrighty. Don't expect this to be repeatable, but there's a wealth gap that I need to close up for you guys.
It's fine.
And assuming everyone survives the mission to wipe out Jubilex, I do encourage some traditional adventuring for a brief while after this, before moving on to the next story arc. Don't worry, there will be traditional adventuring available.
Okie dokie.
So, Aishlin, you may prepare a shopping list for 65k 753 of wealth.
Alright, this will be exciting.
And just once you've put that together and updated your character sheet for next session, just post it on the forum.
Alright.
A belt of stone skin and 707,000 gold worth of diamonds.
Sure.
Okay. Alrighty. Yes, and the next thing that would really need to be dealt with is when you guys when you guys set off, or when we have our other two players back, can get a couple other things dealt with before you guys can set off for the plane. Not the plane, the Uzum lands.
Right.
It's all green.
I still need to get my those people are gonna find me like as not, so we'll see about that.
It's time for me to go up against an ooze with a bow. This was a smart plan.
Genius! Yeah, I gotta go get my new cohort apparently at some point, probably next session. Gonna let her fucking jump me as I'm waiting for my shit to be finished for.
I somehow have the impression she is going to be a gecko, because I just think geckos are cool.
Alright, so unless there's anything else.
Yep, that should be all for tonight. I will see you all same time next week, which is the 8th.
Okie dokie.
Sounds wonderful.
Do any of you have... oh, hold on. Let me stop the recording, and then we can discuss what holiday plans that people might have.